You've probably heard of a life coach. The industry is absolutely booming right now. But have you ever heard of a life coach for children? Is that really a thing? Well, actually, it is. I was a teacher of 12 years teaching science and PE, and now I'm coaching kids around the world through life. Think of it kind of like life tutoring. But what do life coaches for kids actually do? Before I answer that, I think it'd be a really good idea for me to explain the life coaching industry right now. The coaching industry is absolutely exploding right now. Even back in 2023, it was worth 20 billion. Now, it's expected to, this year alone, 2025, reach 25 billion. But what's absolutely fascinating about that is, despite nobody's actually heard of a life coach for kids, that industry is absolutely rising. I get asked so much by parents. I've actually stopped advertising my services right now. I stopped 2 years ago. I'm still getting referrals. I'm still getting people coming through my website or my social media to say, Dale, please, can you help my son? He's got anxiety going to school. Dale, please, can you help my daughter? She's struggling to make friends. Why do I think this is happening for? Well, traditional therapies might come across as a little bit daunting, a little bit scary for some parents and children as well. What makes it fun for me is I combine the physicality and the psychology. So I use NLP, CBT, and timeline therapeutic techniques to help the child here. But also, what's really good about life coaching for kids is when they're running around, so the physicality, they get a release of dopamine. As you know, what happens when a child gets dopamine? They get happy. What happens after the child feels happy? Well, their guard drops. What happens when the guard drops? They open up more. This is why I get absolutely phenomenal results life coaching kids, because I combine the physicality with the psychology. And the physicality could include things like parkour, football, basketball, martial arts, boxing, going rock climbing, going bouldering, going to a trampoline park, going to Go Ape. It's so much fun and the kids absolutely love it. I cannot tell you how many children that come to me because they refuse to go back to their counsellor after the first session. So here's a few things that a life coach for children actually helps children develop. Number 1 is confidence. Number 2, develop resilience. Number 3, help them with their emotions and know how to regulate them. Number 4, know how to problem solve and navigate challenges in the world. Number 5, manage anxiety. Number 6, give them a positive self-identity. Number 7, helping them grow a mindset around failure. Number 8, growing mental toughness. It's about empowering the kid, not fixing them. Children are not broken. They've just gone through a certain amount of experiences in their life. They've got limited amount of information, limited resources because they're fairly young, and they don't know how to articulate their path in the world because they struggle with understanding and identifying with their emotions. That's where a life coach for kids come in. And who makes the best life coaches for kids? Yes, teachers. Well done. Because technically they're already doing it in the classroom anyway, they're just not getting paid for it. There's this amazing therapy called NLP. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. They actually use that in the NHS. It's great, but it's very linear and it can be a little bit, take this box, then this box, then this box, and it's a little bit boring, especially for children. Think of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, as its more versatile, fun big brother. You can go in so many different directions with NLP, and there's so many more techniques that can help a child thrive in this world. For example, if a child says, oh, I'm rubbish at maths, NLP techniques through intuitive questioning finds out where that belief actually came from, and we go through a certain brain code in their mind of where that belief came from, link it over to a code in their mind where they feel confident, swap over the codes, and they get an absolutely phenomenal result. What does a session actually look like? Well, for me personally, my first session tends to be pretty much the same. It's all about building rapport, first of all. I've got to make sure that the child and I are on the same page. We are singing from the same hymn sheet. If not, they're going to disassociate and they're not going to want to be involved. So how do I do this? I make it as fun as possible. First of all, we start off with something called the Life Pizza, which is a little bit like the Life Wheel, if you've heard of that, but the Life Pizza is my own design. I've just kidified it and gamified that little therapy just there. And then what we do is, because I go into a CrossFit box and we swing off a giant rope, and it's so much fun, and we gradually build the height of the boxes to grow their confidence. We go back to the Life Pizza, understand the Life Pizza again, find out how much confidence has grown. Obviously it's grown because they've never swung off that height of a box before, and they get a drop of confidence inside their brain and a sense of self-appreciation, like, if I can do that swinging off a box thing, then I can put my hand up in maths. I can speak to those new friends. It's all about, again, empowering the kids, which seems to be the theme today. And then I go on to a therapy which I created myself, which is absolutely amazing. It's called the Quad Identity System. So much fun. It basically helps a child understand who they are in 4 areas of their life: themselves, in their social circle, monster to avoid, and their future. When the child knows all of those points, they know exactly the direction they want to go in, and they know who to avoid, and they know who to go towards. That's going to help them get to that point where they deserve to be in their future. Well, why is this demand growing for? Well, as you already know, 1 in 4 children aged between the ages of 5 all the way through to 19 have got a mental health disorder. 1 in 6 children aged between the ages of 5 to 16 are struggling with their mental health, and that's research done by the NHS back in 2023. Also, there are so many more parents in this world that are understanding the conditioning of the world, social media, the pandemic, what happened all those years ago, which we're not allowed to mention on YouTube. But anyway, there are so many children that are struggling with this, and so many parents are becoming more aware of mental wellness, mental well-being, and understanding their emotions. So if they're struggling, they know their child's going to struggle. This is why they're seeking the help of life coaches for kids. And essentially, life coaching has become the go-to intervention that's going to help a child grow in confidence and help them regulate their emotions. I've done other videos in the past if you are interested in life coaching kids, but you've got to make sure that the top 3 things: make sure you find your niche, make sure you've been kind of working with children for a long time and you're safe to work with children, and get a certification in life coaching. Remember, a life coach for children is not here to help them survive, it's here to help them thrive. And you can do so much, especially if you are a teacher watching this right now. You can work with kids one-to-one, remotely or in person. You can do group work. You can actually do workshops in schools, which is what I do. You can speak on school stages. And it's absolutely profound what a life coach for kids can actually charge, anywhere between £60 to £250 an hour. It's absolutely wild, which is a little bit more than what a teacher is doing and receiving in this world. And they deserve so much more as well. If you want any more tricks or tips, or you want a bit more of an understanding of how this life coaching thing works, then just drop me a message saying coach, and I'm going to give you a free 18-step guide of how to do that. You don't even have to give me your email, you don't have to give me your phone number, I don't even care for your name. If you wanted to, just say coach under there, and then I will put it in the link in the description and you can get access to it immediately. In the meantime, have a really cool day, and remember, if you're a teacher watching this, you are the backbone of our society. You're cultivating our future generations, but do not let a broken, dogmatic education system take advantage of you. You're worth more. Peace out.